Hey there, welcome to this training. I am so excited to talk about how blogging can help you get clients. A lot of times we start a blog because we just want to get our hearts out there and we have a passion for writing and communication. But then there comes a point where we are wondering, how do we actually get paid to do this? So if you're a blogger who's looking for clients, this is going to be perfect for you. My name is Lindsay Maloney. I am a rapid transformational therapy practitioner. I am also a business and success coach. I have been coaching women for over 9 years on how to start and scale their coaching businesses while focusing on not only the outer work, but also the inner work. Because without the inner work, all of the outer work is going to fall flat if we're not concentrating on what's inside, what we need to work on, and how we can polish it up. So I help my clients do both, and we have really great success in my program. I am the creator of Standout Coaching Academy, and I'm also the host of the Book Your Dream Clients podcast. So, the plan for today is you're going to listen and learn and feel inspired so you can make your blog work for you. Hence, booking clients, making money, and making an impact on the world. All right, bloggers, are you spending hours blogging with nothing to show for it? Do you feel like you're constantly having to brainstorm ideas and topics to elaborate on? Are you working in the back end of your website and constantly pushing out information? And all of the work that you're doing, you're not getting anything back. So you're not getting email subscribers, you're not getting any comments, and the worst part of it all is you're not making any money. Are you getting traffic to your blog, but no clients to show for it? So you might be getting an incredible amount of traffic. People are reading your information, but nobody is transforming from a reader into a client. And are you going on discovery calls, but you struggle to get the client to actually make the investment? So you might be the person who gets a lot of calls, free time, free advice time, basically. You're getting a lot of tire kickers and people who have to, might take some time to make the decision, but there's something missing. You're not booking the client. You're giving out a lot of free information, not only on your blog, but then you're also going on all these calls and nothing to show for it. Or are you feeling completely burned out over all of the effort you're making? Are you feeling like this is my last big attempt to make it happen? I am burned out. I can't come up with any more free information to give. I don't even know what to write anymore. And what's the point? Are you feeling that way? Are you ready for a change? You don't have to feel this way. There is a way to get paid for the work that you do. And I'm not talking about doing collaborations or influencer posts or anything like that. This is going to be completely new information for you. So I want to make sure that you have a notebook and something to write with, and feel free to screenshot this training because it's going to be a lot different than everything you've probably learned so far. Because if everything that you've learned so far hasn't been working for you, it's time for a change. So, the first thing that we really need to focus on when we are blogging is not to make it so personal. We need to actually be solving a problem. And so many times this can be missed. We have the best intentions to write something that will inspire people and make people, give out the praise hands and all of that. But are you really solving a problem with your post? Are you leading with the intention of making someone feel like they can move a step forward after they read your blog post? So a lot of times that involves making your titles very keyword friendly. And I don't really get into all of the details on how to do that because I feel like if I am in tune with what my future client wants, I don't need to rely on a Google keyword planner. I don't need to rely on all of the other tools. I don't go into those at all. And I manage to be fully booked out all of the time. I am very in tune with what my ideal client is struggling with at this very moment. I am very in tune with their pain points and what is keeping them up at night. And that is what I write about. That is what I podcast about. That is my free information. It's something that will make them feel empowered and inspired to take inspired action, but then they're also going to think this would be a lot easier if I just had somebody to guide me through it. And that's when they start to work with you. So if you're blogging about something that isn't solving a problem and it isn't making them feel like they can move forward, then it's a completely wasted effort. So your blog posts have to solve a problem. It doesn't need to be, you don't need to change the world with your blog post, but it needs to help them do something. It needs to make them feel like you are a resource for them and they will continue to grasp at the things that you are putting out there. You also need a strong organic marketing plan. And I know this can feel really heavy when you first learn what a strong organic marketing plan is. And basically what it is you're not investing any money in ads. I built my business on a strong organic marketing plan. I didn't build my business on running ads. So here's what you need. You need those 3 big beasts, those social media platforms that are going to help you. The number one thing for you is going to be Pinterest. If you're not creating pins for your blog posts, at least 5, and then you're falling short. Pinterest will work for you. Pinterest is a slow burner, but an everlasting burner. Think of the difference between Pinterest and Instagram, for example. Once something goes on Instagram in the feed, it has a very short lifetime. Even stories has a 24-hour, and that's probably the longest anything can last on Instagram is through a story. IGTV is different. IGTV works really well, but we also need to be bringing people to our website, right? They can digest information from your videos on Instagram, whether it's IGTV stories or your feed. That's great. But we also need things to be working for us while we don't have to sit here and intentionally do it, right? We have to manually post a story. We have to go on IGTV and have to manually do this. But if you have a strong organic marketing plan with something like Pinterest, and you have, let's say you put out a blog post for next week and you have 5 different pins, 5 to 10 different pins that are going to eventually be circulating on Pinterest that are all driving traffic to your blog post, that is a strong organic marketing plan. I have booked clients who have downloaded a pin, who have saved a pin that I created years ago, and they just saw it now. So they're still working their magic. And I can make 5 figures on just one client because I worked on my organic marketing plan years ago. So when I didn't go in my email service provider and see how that client first started on my list, she just came on that day, for example. My latest client just came on that day and she had downloaded something I'd put out there 3 years ago. So if I wouldn't have done that 3 years ago, she wouldn't have found me. And that was maybe a half hour's worth of effort. But the pattern that this creates, it puts out more information, and the more people that see those pins and save them and go to your website, the more Pinterest will circulate them for you. And if you have a really strong plan, this is going to hold you really strong. So you don't have to rely on investing with your marketing. Of course, I think investing in marketing is great, but you need that really strong structure of organic marketing. For Facebook, I just really suggest being really present on your page. So for me, without having to put out a whole lot of effort, I will always push my Instagram posts onto my page. And if something inspires me to have to share with my Facebook page audience, then I'll manually post it. But I don't focus on scheduling or spending a lot of time because my audience is primarily on Pinterest and Instagram. But I will share what I'm doing on Instagram onto my Facebook. Okay. And then if you have a Facebook group, which if you don't, I really would love for you to have one because it's a great place to keep everybody in a more solid concentrated community. Everyone is there because they know you and they want to be a part of your world. So showing them the new content that you put out there, don't shortchange your blog post by just sharing it on Instagram or Pinterest. Share it everywhere and share it multiple times. I have multiple things circulating every single day, from stuff that I've done in the past month to stuff I've done over the years. Don't give it a short lifetime. Keep it moving. You also need to optimize your work. So think about your blog post. Think about your title. We'll just kind of work our way down. Think about your title. Think about the pins that you have in there. And then also optimizing it to work for you. We don't have a button on the bottom of our blog post that says, "Did you enjoy reading this article? Please send me $300. We can't do that. Well, we can, but it probably wouldn't work very well. But what you can do is you can get paid in subscribers. I get paid in subscribers with all the content that I put out there. Whether you're blogging, podcasting, or it's video, always having several calls to action for them to optimize their experience with reading your free content. So what does that look like? So if you have a blog post about email marketing and it's giving away all this juicy information and it's good on its own, optimizing it with a freebie that has something that enhances the blog post will make people say yes. So if you have a blog post talking about email marketing and then you have a freebie that's called 100 subject lines that are guaranteed high conversion rates or something like that, putting that in your blog post at least 3 times via buttons or hyperlinking text is going to allow you to get paid for your work with subscribers, because those subscribers will turn into leads. And if we're just putting out a blog post without optimizing it for leads, you're cutting yourself short. We cannot rely on people to find and dig for our freebies. We can't rely on people to do that. So we have to make it very pronounced that we always have more for them. We always have more. So optimizing your blog posts to get paid with subscribers will create warm leads. All right, so you need a streamlined process as well. If you're creating content that your ideal client will love and you're going to optimize it for them, and then they're going to get on your list, then what happens? We need to have a streamlined process so this works in our favor without us having to jump on our computer when we see somebody comes onto our list and having to strategize about the next move. Having a streamlined process is going to move your business like clockwork, like a well-oiled machine. So you can count on that work that you put in with your blog posts, that it's going to come back to you in full force. Okay. So we're going to get into a streamlined process. So this is what it looks like when it's all complete. You can take a screenshot of it, and then we're going to dig into each one at a time. So it's very clear with you what this process will look like. Okay. So the blog posts, you're a blogger, you're putting out a blog post, you're optimizing the title, your content is very juicy, everyone loves it, it's shareable, people are coming, right? So what do we do after we put that blog post out there? What's that streamlined process look like? You have to have a content upgrade. So one thing that I love to teach on to make your life a little bit easier is to have a centralized theme as to what your goal is for the quarter. So if your goal for the quarter is to get booked out with clients, what do you think your ideal clients, what do you think they're going to love? What do you think they're looking for right now? What are they struggling with, and how can you solve their problem? So your focus on blog posts for that quarter has to be centralized around that pain point. So it's like a quarterly theme. That way you're not getting distracted with a bunch of different ideas and wondering how this is all going to tie in together in the end. So if your focus is bringing in clients with this specific pain point, create blog content that is aligned with that intention. And then you can create a content upgrade or a freebie or a freemium, whatever you want to call it, that you can use in each blog post. You don't have to create a freebie for each one. You can if you have the time and the capability to do that. That would mean more results for you. But using one freebie per quarter or even per month is just fine. So creating new content via blog, upgrading the blog post with a content upgrade with that freebie, then what happens? Then they are put through your client funnel. So once they subscribe to the content upgrade that's in your blog post, they're on your list. You got them. Don't let them cool down. Push them through a client funnel. You want them to be your client, right? So why are you not asking for them to be your client? Having an email series, I like to say between 4 and 7 emails, depending on the habits and patterns of your people. I like to send them an email once a day if they're going through a client funnel. So once they download your freebie, that funnel starts. So think of 5 to 7 different email subjects that you know your dream client will open. And each of those emails, you're going to be warming them up with a call to action to do something that we're going to get into in just a minute. Now, when people hear that they have to write all of these emails, it can feel really overwhelming. This is my secret way to do it, and it works really well. This is what you do. So let's say you want to write 7 different emails, and I don't want you to put on your to-do list or write your client funnel. That's overwhelming. What I want you to do is assign one task each day. Write email 1 on Monday, email 2 Tuesday, email 3 Wednesday, and so forth. Then it is just a digestible task. All you have to do is write one email. Now, to make it even easier, think about how you're going to communicate with them from a friendly perspective, not a sales perspective. You are just checking in on them to see how much they love their new freebie. And then you're telling them a little bit about yourself, not your life story, but then I also want you to ask questions in those emails. You'll be surprised with how many people answer you. When we get off the idea that we need to just sell and turn that off and just get to know people and are leading from the heart and you're being generous, that is what brings in clients. Get away from the templates that everyone is giving out on how to book clients and how to sell and all of that. Get away from that if that feels icky for you. If you want to do something that feels a lot more aligned with you, why not just write them a quick note? That converts well for me. I feel like the long form emails where we're telling our life story, I don't think those are working anymore. I think those are just a bunch of white noise. What about just sending them short personal notes that are automated in a funnel that they can relate to and connect with? It will feel like you're literally sending them a note personally at that moment. So create a task for each day for the next 7 days, write email number 1 and so forth. Once you have all those written, and I just suggest writing them out in a Google Doc, keeping them really organized. Once they're done, then load them into your email service provider. Then turn an automation on so once somebody downloads your freebies, they're put through your client funnel. Okay, so when they're going through that client funnel, the call to action that I want you to have in there is a client application. Now, this is really important. If you were nodding your head yes earlier when you were talking about you're going on all these discovery calls with no clients signing up, this is why. The reason why you're going on the call with a bunch of tire kickers is because you're not screening them before they get on the phone. Sure, it's exciting to see a calendar appointment being booked in your inbox. But isn't it getting old going on a call with somebody you have no idea if they're going to invest in you or even if they're interested in investing in you? Put them through a client application. Don't give anyone access to your calendar unless they have the intention of paying for you. That is the last question that I ask on my application. And you can see what my application looks like by just going to my website and there's an example right there for you. I ask them questions about their business, but the last question that I ask is, Are you willing to invest in your business? And if they say yes, I will go on the call with them. If they say no, I write them back and say, I think that when you're ready to invest in your business, then we can absolutely hop on a call. But for now, here are some resources that will help you. I don't ignore them. I don't say, no, I'm not getting on a call with you because you want to invest. I'm leading from the heart. I'm saying, when you're ready, I'm here. Here's some things that will help you while you're going along your way. Okay. So having that client application also puts you at a higher level. It doesn't mean like, oh, my calendar is open for perfect strangers who want to completely waste my time. We're not doing that. We're not leading our business that way. That's not how CEOs lead their business. I want you to adopt a CEO mindset. Make people apply to get on the phone with you, get on the phone, and then book them as a client. You're going to thank me. I know this is always scary if you've been doing it the opposite way, but I want you to try it because it's going to make you feel like you have more control over your business, because there's nothing worse than somebody grabbing a half hour of your time when you know they have absolutely no intention of investing. Learn from my mistakes. All right, then you go on the discovery call. And one of the biggest things that I always teach my students and clients when they ask, what should they say on a discovery call? I say, just talk to them like they're a friend. Talk to them like you're going out for coffee and they're sharing all of their struggles with you. Listen to them and then show them that there is a way out. So when you get on that discovery call, I don't really normally do video for discovery calls because I feel like they are a little bit more open with me when they're not on video. But for when they are a client, we do video. Discovery calls, audio, I use Zoom. We get on the call. I ask them to tell me about their business and what they're going through. And then I say, and then I will see if I can help you. And that puts them into a space where they're like, I have to convince her that she needs to help me. Okay, so they tell me their story, what they're struggling with. I don't let them go on for, 10 minutes. We keep it short because then I say, okay, I totally get what you're going through. And the reason why I know I get what they're going through is because I put them through the application. I know what you're going through and I know that it feels rough. But here's what can happen. This can happen when you do this. And then I can also see this happening for you. I can absolutely help you do that. This is what it looks like to work with me. And then I'll usually share my screen and we'll look at my client process. We'll look at the workflows that we put in for onboarding clients, and they see that this is a well-oiled machine and they feel very confident that they're going to be taken care of. And then we also discuss our packages that I just show them my screen for my sales page. We talk about the different package options. We answer questions, and then we get the commitment. Usually this happens between minutes 10 to 15. It goes really fast when you do it really well. So once they decide what package they want, I suggest having 3 different coaching packages. You can go see mine. Then the ball starts rolling really fast. We choose their payment plan. I customize it for every single client. Some clients pay weekly, some pay monthly, bi-weekly, whatever. I tell them this is completely customized for you, and that makes them feel like they have control. We need to allow our clients to they're making a big investment in us. So I don't ever say you have to pay me within 3 months. We have lots of payment plan options, and I win over a lot of clients because I do that. So if you need examples, just go to lindsaymaloney.com and go to work with me, my one-on-one page, and you can see my examples right there. So all of that happens on the discovery call. Then you book your client. You send them the payment form, the client is booked, and you're good to go. So that all happened because you created a blog post that solved a problem. And then you upgraded the experience because you knew that they would want more from that blog post, and you got paid by getting subscribers because you put in a really juicy freebie. And people found your blog post because you had an amazing organic marketing plan, and they're coming over every day. They're going through your client funnel. You're warming them up. They're getting to know you. And not every person that goes through your client funnel may sign up to be your client right away, but they're on your list, and that's where you want them. As they move through your client funnel, they're then looking at your call to action to apply to work with you, and their attention is piqued because the application puts you at a really high level. It makes them feel like they want to be with you and they have to put in an effort, and that makes people want it even more, right? Because you're saying, not everyone can work with me. Not everyone can even go on a call with me. So why don't you just apply? So they're applying to work with you. They want to make an investment. They go on the call. You already know that. So the call is at a whole different level. The call goes amazing and you book your client. Easy peasy. You see how easy that is? There's nothing in here that requires you to purchase anything, to spend $1,000 on ads a month. You don't have to do that. If you're consistently putting out information that solves a problem and you're helping people and you're leading from the heart, you will book clients, but you have to have a seamless process in order to do that. So I hope you found this training really informative and you're inspired to make this work for you, because it can happen. It just takes a wheel just like this. Make sure you take a screenshot so you know that this is the process that you need to move through. You're going to love it, and so will your clients.